we're exploring how technological change has propelled one age of globalization to the next. And when we reach the fourth age of globalization, the age of the classical empires, the age of the Roman Empire, the age of the Han Empire, the age of the Persian empires, the age of Indian empires, we're in a period roughly from 1000 BCE to 1500 AD of some of the most fundamental technological advances of all of human history. And we recall these great empires with absolute amazement to this day because of their, not only their grandeur, their might, but also because of the breakthroughs that they made in ways of doing things, in the technologies across the range of human activity. We remember them for the great infrastructure that they built. In the case of the Roman Empire, the road network and aqueducts and buildings that stand to this day, more than 2,000 years later. We remember their great metalworking, and especially the Iron Age, which followed first the Copper Age, then the Bronze Age, to the use of iron, and eventually to the making of steel, when innovations enabled kilns or furnaces to reach higher melting points to enable the working of iron ore. And so the Iron Age gave still more implements for economic life, for plows, for agriculture, for building, and of course for military purposes. We recall the Classic Age for their military prowess and for the many technological innovations that came with that military prowess. Of course, in philosophy, in culture, in religion, in the management and transmission of knowledge, there were also vast breakthroughs in information and communications technologies. So the Classic Age is an age that epitomizes the centrality of technological innovation in propelling societal change. One of the perhaps most fundamental, in some ways, together with fire and agriculture, arguably in the very short list of fundamental breakthrough technologies, came during the Classical Age, and that is the breakthrough to an alphabet, to a way to write down knowledge and information, and then to share it in the form of books. And the importance of this breakthrough, of course, cannot be overestimated. It's absolutely fundamental, because for any technology to spread, to be used, to be diffused, the knowledge that is core to that technology has to be shared. And a writing system is the most fundamental breakthrough in sharing that knowledge. And of course, a writing system that could then be transmitted through books was a way of sharing that knowledge over vast distances. Of course, the history of the alphabet is a complicated one, and history of writing systems more generally is a complicated one that we will be studying. And it goes back to even the second age of globalization, to the Neolithic Age, and to the invention of hieroglyphics in Egypt as one of the earliest writing systems, and then nearby in the Near East, in Mesopotamia, the development of the cuneiform writing systems of the Mesopotamian kingdoms along the Tigris and the Euphrates. These became the bases or the prototypes that then would evolve to what would become the alphabet itself. The great breakthrough of the alphabet occurred in Phoenicia. That is in today's Lebanon or on the eastern Mediterranean coast, where essentially the first modern style alphabet was written down. And this occurred around 1000 BCE. That was soon followed by the Greeks, who used the Phoenician and developed what is truly an alphabet for the first time. What the Greeks added to the Phoenician script was vowels. And so it is the combination of script for consonants and vowels that is defined as a full alphabet. And the Greeks get the prize for being the first alphabet in that full sense of consonant and vowel sounds. Well, the Greek script became the basis for scripts throughout the Mediterranean region, and writing systems became an absolute core for advancement of knowledge, for sharing of knowledge, for the promulgation and enforcement of law and standards, fundamental for all business and trade, fundamental for politics, and fundamental for management of societal life. It was also fundamental for thinkers, who now had a medium in which they could not only think and preach perhaps to their local followers, but share their knowledge widely. And one has to suspect that the breakthrough to written scripts, and of course not only in Western Eurasia, but also scripts in South Asia, in today's India, in the characters of Chinese writing in East Asia, were fundamental for enabling thinkers, philosophers, priests, religious leaders to propagate their ideas as well. And this breakthrough, therefore, is in no doubt of absolute fundamental significance. Well, when one combines the Iron Age, the use of the horse for long-distance travel and for military conquest, the breakthroughs in communications, in knowledge, we see a tremendous acceleration of knowledge, the birth of nothing less than philosophy and science itself, especially in ancient Greece, and the empowerment of empire as well. And it is not an accident that the greatest thinker of the classical Greek era, Aristotle, became the tutor of the greatest conqueror of the Greek world, Alexander the Great of Macedon, whose conquests not only extended from today's Egypt all the way to today's India, but whose conquests also expanded the range of Greek learning, the spread of philosophy, the spread of science, and the ability for long-distance diffusion of knowledge from west to east and from east to west. Alexander's conquests, absolutely so stunning in history that they are recalled vividly till today, were themselves a matter of technological innovation as well as social organization. The Macedonian phalanx, in which the attack was made, used an innovative long spear, the sarissa, and formations of the troops that proved to be absolutely decisive in battle in enabling Alexander essentially to conquer a whole known world, a world known to the Greeks and then beyond as he went to the Indus River from his home in Macedonia. So technological breakthroughs were decisive. After the Greek kingdoms or the Hellenistic kingdoms of Alexander the Great came the next great empire that would be the imperial dominant power for hundreds of years, and that, of course, is the Roman Empire. And here, too, the power of Rome depended on major technological innovations that, in the case of Rome, are most notable in physical infrastructure, in capacity for large-scale buildings, such as the grand aqueducts, 2,000 years old and still featured across the expanse of the Roman Empire, or the vast road system of Rome, which until today define a road network of thousands of kilometers throughout the Mediterranean basin. These are not only phenomenal works of public infrastructure, they are phenomenal breakthroughs of technology as well, especially in the design of large-scale infrastructure. So the classic era is an era of pervasive technological advances, advances in communications, advances in materials, and the Iron Age, in military technologies, in, of course, the ideas and organization that would propel humanity forward.